Hi, I'm answering questions for Module 2. I'm going to read these right off of the paper. What are your experiences with individuals with disabilities? My perceptions and experiences with disabilities are vast as I work in special education, both in self-contained and resource. In my experience, kids with disabilities have different ways of seeing the world. Children with disabilities have unique skills like creativity and different ways to problem solve. With some of the disabilities, I have noticed moderate to severe behavioral issues, which I see especially in children that have nonverbal autism. Some of the behaviors become so bad they are a danger to themselves as well as others. But most of the kids that I deal with are some of the sweetest kids I've ever experienced. Do your perceptions about disability matter as an educator? Why or why not? Working in a school, I've seen this firsthand. I've seen these children not only shunned by teachers and peers, but admin as well. I had a child that was listed as a developmental delay with behaviors. His gen ed teacher would not allow him or her in the room at all. We basically became a dumping ground for him, as they just did not want to deal with him. It was the saddest thing I've ever seen. He couldn't even come in and watch a movie that the class did as a whole as a reward, um, because she just didn't want him in there. Um, it got so bad that admin got involved. Working in a school setting has been completely eye-opening for me. However, for me, it would not be an issue. I like the unique challenge of getting through to all kids as every child, regardless of disability, learns at different times and styles. Number 3, according to Eric Weinmeier, society imposes low expectations of those who have disabilities. Do you agree with his statement? Why or why not? Yes, I do feel that society has a biased outlook on those with disabilities. I feel like society as a whole sees them as lesser individuals. However, these individuals continue to defy social perceptions to show that they are no different than anyone else because their disability does not define them. What is UDL and why is it important? UDL is Universal Design for Learning, and it is important because it's inclusion based for everyone. Next question is, most college campuses are generally accessible and maintain an office specifically for disability services and support. However, only 19% of young adults with disabilities in the longitudinal study mentioned in the IRIS model reported requesting and receiving accommodations in these post-secondary settings. By comparison, of these same young adults, 87% reported receiving accommodations and support during their time in high school. But what factors might have contributed to these findings? I think that maybe because college kids think that there's a lack of services or accommodations available to them in college. Um, I feel like in college it's not really talked about. Like the first time I went through college, I don't remember anybody ever asking, did I need any type of service or I don't even remember it being mentioned. But I also feel like it's also a lack of self-advocation and maybe a negative feeling from peers and everyone around you. It's a stigma. Last question is, discuss the pros and cons of the response to the intervention model. Pros of the intervention are that it catches students before it becomes an issue, rather its behaviors or learning deficits. Intervention is based on data. Cons is that it's time consuming. Also, schools may not always offer intervention services. So I have a personal story about that. I have a son that had fallen behind due to COVID. Um, School went completely online for his first grade year, and then he just was not learning in the virtual environment. It was distracting. It was just awful. Um, by the time he went to second grade, he was put into tutoring. And then in third grade, he went to an intervention program after a long wait and me pushing. He was accepted into intervention and he went through System 44, which helped him with his reading. And then when he went to fourth grade, he stayed in intervention and went to Read 180, which helped tremendously. After Read 180, though, when he went to the fifth grade, had they have had intervention, he would have been taken back, but because they lost funding, it was a public school, lost funding, he didn't get his intervention services, and he also didn't qualify for SPED. So um, he kind of lost out on that extra help, which it really stunk. I mean, he did catch up, but it was a long struggle through fifth and now sixth grade. But I think it's a shame that a program like that isn't available at all times, because it does work wonders, especially for him. It helps so much. Um, I think that is it. Okay. I'm Tiffany Gregory, and I hope I didn't read too fast. These video discussions freak me out. Everybody have a great day and good luck with your semester.